tied up, tangled up in Jesus. I'm wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in Jesus. I'm wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in Jesus. I'm wrapped up, tied up, tangled up, wrapped up, tied up, tangled up, wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in God. Hello, boys and girls. How are you doing? It's a pleasure coming back to speak to you today. It has been a while, but I'm so happy that I'm here to share with you this wonderful day. Today, I was just so excited singing that song, I'm wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in Jesus. Do you remember singing that song in school? What about Sunday school? At home? Well, it's one of my favorite songs, and there's an action to it. It says, I'm wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in Jesus. I'm wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in Jesus. I'm wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in Jesus. I'm wrapped up, tied up, tangled up, wrapped up, tied up, tangled up, wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in God. I'm inside, outside, all around in Jesus. I'm inside, outside, all around in Jesus. I'm inside, outside, all around in Jesus. I'm inside, outside, all around, inside, upside, all around, inside, outside, all around in God. Amen. Isn't it wonderful to be wrapped up, tied up, and tangled up in God? Yes, children, there were so many songs that I sang in Sunday school. But so sad, many of our children, they don't know these songs. But I'm happy that I was able to share that one with you. Today, I want to share a wonderful story. I want you to know that even if you're in a tight situation, you don't have to be afraid. There is always a solution. There is always a way out. There's always something that you can do. So instead of staying there and crying and worrying, you can always trust God. You have your schoolwork and it's difficult, you can trust God. You have some persons who are saying naughty things or negative things against you or to you, you can trust God. You are afraid of what is happening around you, you can trust God because there's always a way out. Today, I want to talk to you or to share with you the story of Daniel in the lion's den. Anybody has ever heard that story before? Awesome. Now, Daniel was a man of God. Yes, he had an excellent spirit. And one day, Daniel had some enemies telling lies on him. Why? They were jealous of Daniel. Daniel always prayed to God. He prayed to the Lord in the morning, he prayed to God in the afternoon, and he prayed to God in the evening. He prayed to God 3 times every day, and he was not afraid. Now, there were some bad men who were jealous of him as well. And when they saw Daniel excelling, when they saw that Daniel had favor with different kings, they were even more jealous. And so they tried to find a way for Daniel to be killed. And so they looked and they couldn't find anything because Daniel was perfect in his ways. He was excellent in his spirit. He was a man who feared God and was obedient to those who were set over him. And so these men, they looked and they searched until finally they say, okay, we can't find anything, but let us make a decree to say that if anybody prays to any other God more than our false God, they will be thrown in the lion's den. Daniel heard the decree, but that did not stop him from praying. He opened his window and he prayed to God 3 times per day. And you know what happened? The men saw him and they went to the king and said, King, didn't you say that nobody should pray to any other God but your God, but our false God? They didn't say false, but I'm putting that in. And he said, yes. Well, Daniel has been praying to another God than our God. And the king said, Daniel, Now Daniel was the king's friend. And the king was so sad to hear that Daniel was the one who was not obeying the rules of the land. But because the king had already signed a decree, he had to do what he had already established. And that was to throw anybody who was not praying to their idols, to their false god, into the lion's den. And so the king was brokenhearted, and he went to Daniel and said, Daniel, I am sorry. You have to be thrown into the lion's den. And Daniel was not afraid, because he knew that it did not matter the situation, that God was with him. And you know what happened, boys and girls? Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. And when he was thrown into the lion's den, the king could not sleep, because Daniel was his friend. But he believed that Daniel's God would deliver him. Now, when Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, Daniel prayed. Again, he was a prayer warrior. And so I want to encourage us, boys and girls, that whenever that you're feeling afraid, whenever you're feeling anxious or anxiety is taking a hold of you, or your heart feels stressed, or you're not sure how to handle a situation, I want you just to pray. Remember, praying is just talking to God, letting him know how you feel. And so Daniel prayed to God. And you know what happened? God sent an angel, and that angel closed up the mouth of all the lions. And so the lions did not harm Daniel. Maybe Daniel slept on one of them. Maybe he played with one of them. But the lions did not harm him, because he prayed and God protected him. Now, boys and girls, whatever that you're faced with today, whatever situation, whatever sadness, whatever storms, whatever circumstance, you too can talk to God. You can pray to him and let him know exactly how you feel. And just like how God came and helped Daniel in that lion's den, God can also help you when you're feeling afraid. All you have to do is to cry out to him. There is always a way out. And that way out for Daniel was praying to God or talking to God. And that too can be a way out for you. So the next time you feel afraid, the next time you're not sure what to do, the next time your schoolwork seems difficult, the next time somebody troubles you, you can find a way out by crying to God, by praying to him, by telling him exactly how you feel, and God will make a way. So I just want to leave those words with you. I hope you have learned a lesson. Take care and all the best. Yes, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Bye. Take care until we meet again.